Let's head on down into our finals match here today of red-black aggro versus Sultai ramp. This is a double elimination tournament, but both of these players have already given up their loss, so they will be playing a single best of three to decide the winner of our tournament. Pretty quick mulligan here. Oof. Going to 5.
I think these both. Yep. I think these both are mulligans.
Not like this.
Ooh.
Not like this.
Oh no!
Oh, red-black aggro.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So this is a good 6 for the field deck. They have a Languish, which is a great piece of interaction for them. They have, 2 lands is light, but they have this Explore and this Uro to try to chain them into more. And on the other side, it's 2 Knights of the Ebon Legion and a Dream.
That's all you need. That's all you need, Nick, is a Dream.
Ban-worthy card, Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Powerful. We won the die roll. I don't know what else you want.
Also powerful.
So if you're on Cricket's side, you're just like hoping Tom misses a land drop. It's basically your plan.
Yep. It's a good plan. You're on Tom's side. Like, if you miss land drops, it can definitely get out of hand. You have tools, you have Heartless Act, you have Languish, but you have to be able to cast them.
Yep. Another thing that's potentially possible too, if we just see like forest or colorless lands come off the top from Tom, like even if they hit those don't cast Languish or Uro, could be a potential hang up as well. We see going back and forth here, and Tom seeing their opponent brick, prioritizing getting that blue-green mana for Uro here.
Interesting.
Okay, I think I like this. I don't know that I would like it on an opponent who has more resources, but I think against someone who's floundering around, it's like not too big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't know. You need 2 lands for this Languish, and I think you're still going to need the Languish to win the game. But you have the Hour, so I guess the theory here is if you get to cast the Uro and the Krasis, they will draw you into lands for the Hour, at which point it doesn't matter what color your mana is.
Okay. And if you're Cricket, you're just like brick, brick, brick.
Half the way to a brick.
Okay, I mean,
interesting.
We get to Thoughtseize the Languish, and then these Knights of the Ebon Legion get to grow up here. And once these Knights get a counter, Heartless Act doesn't kill them anymore. Oh, I guess we can get a black source here, right? Nope. Okay.
Oh dang, this is bad.
Can we pour one out for the London Mulligan, by the way? Letting our 4-card hand aggro player play a game of Magic here?
No. London Mulligan is bad because when you mulligan, you're supposed to lose and feel bad about it. That's good Magic.
That's good Magic. I really don't like this play from Cricket. I think the fact that we didn't take that, Tom spikes a black source here. Okay, so Tom's got one more draw to black source, right?
Red didn't get. Well, I mean, it's not that much pressure, right? I don't like this Thoughtseize.
All right, so you if this is the window, if Tom draws mana for Languish, the game is over.
Or even if they don't, right? You just cast the Hour.
They need a land. If Tom bricks on a land, we're done.
Yeah. You still need a land for the Hour.
Okay, and I think this was super avoidable.
Yeah.
I think if you're on Cricket's side, this game was very winnable, and now we're done.
Yeah, I think at this point the game is over because this red black deck doesn't have the flyers that the mono black deck had. So once
it's got Phoenix, but Uro's escaping at this point, and the window is closed.
Yep, and Uro's just gonna gain 3 life every turn.
Yep. So
because Uro is.
We had a close game on a Mold of 5 or Mold of 4, sorry, and I think had Thoughtseize gone a little bit different, we might have had a different outcome here, but I think we're a little bit too far gone at this point. Because these Hour Promise are just gonna put four zombies into play and then 16 zombies into play, and we're just done here.
It's gonna be a lot. Oh, this makes it 6 to start with. Or I guess 7 to start with if you do it this way.
You even get to Bajuka Bog, the red-black player, for good beads.
Bam.
Yep.
Yeah, Bajuka Bog is a card we hadn't talked about, but it's definitely a advantage this deck has over, say, the green-white deck or the Bant deck we saw earlier that I don't believe are running Bajuka Bog. Because you can just clear out all the graveyard.
That seems loose. I feel like your green-white deck should probably just play Bajuka Bog as a colorless land.
Yeah. I don't think they were, but I could definitely see that being worthwhile anyway.
So we see some good anti-Field of the Dead tools coming in very quickly from the Rakdos aggro player. We've got Rampaging Frostodon as well as Virulent Plague. Bone Crusher Giant coming out very quickly.
Yep, and then you've got on the Field of the Dead side, bringing the other sweeper. They're leaving the Heartless Act. Um, looks like they have the Thought Seizes as well. I like the Thought Seizes. I, I think one of the strengths of this red black deck is it forces the field deck to keep in Thought Seize because Ashiok is so powerful.
Sure.
Whereas if it was just creatures that want to attack you, I think you can safely cut those out.
Yeah, Ashiok, like, again, like looking at the Sultai deck on paper, Ashiok basically beats both your threats, right? Like, it stops you from finding field. You have to naturally draw Field of the Dead, and then Uro also just doesn't work while Ashiok's down ticking.
Yep. Yeah, basically, you're basically left with Ugin, but even then, you don't have the hours to help ramp you to the Ugin. And it looks like they're trying to figure out how to fit these disfigures in and what you need to trim around the edges in order to make that happen.
Yep, we see a lot
Which I
of
like.
we see a lot of the acceleration coming out here. Basically, we saw this happen earlier with the different Field of the Dead player. They basically cut their ramp and are becoming more interactive and just want to like hit their first few land drops naturally on
Yep.
normal turns.
Which should be fine. They have 30, 31 lands. So um do you believe in this languish?
I mean, you have both black sources. Yeah, I think I believe in the languish if I'm on this ultimate. God, this hand on the red black side is tough. I feel like I'd mulligan, but I also wouldn't fault them for keeping.
It's so rough when you mulligan before like you did in the previous game.
And you're just like, yep.
Yeah, you're supposed to just keep doing whatever is correct. But that is much easier said than done.
Yep. And Tom Tracy on our Sultai side, super rewarded for their decision to mulligan here. They're set up for a turn 3 languish now, which is pretty good.
They're not. They're double black.
Oh, I was used to. You're right. They're playing multiple triumphs.
Triumph.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, these decks play a lot of triumphs that are just like blue green tap land, and then the other color doesn't matter.
Oh, Ashiok's an okay draw here if we eventually
they
find
don't black either.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
So if you agonizing remorse here, do we repeat the mistakes of the past or do we take the language this time?
Well, in this situation with the Ashiok, I almost don't hate taking the Uro.
Well,
definitely would take the Uro.
You think so? Because I mean, like Ashiok exiles the Uro after they cast it.
Oh, yeah.
Is it like cantrips? But like now there's a second language, which like kind of incentivizes you to take the Uro. Yeah, I kind of don't hate this since there's a second language now.
Yeah, you're just gonna try to muscle. The problem is muscling through the Uro is going to be, or muscling through the languages is going to be difficult.
Yeah, there's an hour promise. That's we still have 9 drops.
Turns it off. Right?
Wow, that's incredible. All right.
Dragon Skull Summit coming in clutch.
We have a game.
Love to game. Okay, so that's Mill 4. Looks like cards that don't matter will be fuel for stuff later.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Tom, we've been there.
Don't do that.
We found a Phoenix. That's all right. Had maybe a slop on a Thoughtseize pick from Cricket in the first game, but getting it paid back twice here.
Not a combo.
I mean that text isn't why you play the Ashiok, right? Like you're playing the Ashiok for a completely different reason.
I think in this specific meta you're playing it for that reason also.
Sure, yeah.
But so rough.
So if they hit
beat down too, like
So you down tick your Ashiok and you can find Kenra or Croxa.
And you have this Phoenix to block for it. They can't really. Interesting. Well, so they still don't have double black, right? And
Yep.
you know they don't have land, or they would have played it that turn.
And like your 2/1 dying here isn't a big deal because you have the mana to escape it as a 4/4 next turn.
For sure, for sure. 2468 says Avid Mind Tester might be good. That card actually has no text. It
Yeah.
looks like it has text, but whatever cards they want are just on top every time, so it actually doesn't do anything.
As someone who's played an incredible amount of Modern, I can confirm that my Court of Calling decks never included a 2/1 textless Aven Mind Sensor.
Yep.
I don't care how many Primeval Titans were in the format, that card did not have text.
It's always on top.
It just
it's like it's a card. Oh, okay.
Okay, here's a black source. So we get to Languish.
Yeah, stop.
And then we're dead to a land here. Dead to untapped land on the because Phoenix plus a land is lethal with the fire breathing. Okay.
Yep.
That'll do pig.
Bang. All right.
All right, we're gonna get a game 3.
Hopefully, this is a good game with lots of back and forth on both sides when Sultai Field wins.
But Nick's a completely impartial commentator.
No one told me how to be. They told me how to say what was happening in the game, but I can feel however I want about it. Dang it!
All right, so I kind of imagine maybe the Sultai player goes back to their board here. Yeah, we can see here cutting disfigures on the play, and we're gonna bring more ramp in. Yeah, okay, I like it.
Like that.
On the Rakdos side, I think we're kind of okay. I don't know. They added something back, and I'm not sure what it was.
Might have been a Croxa. I think it was a Croxa.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe realizing they cut too many graveyard cards to make their Ashiok's ideal. This
is the last game, right? Regardless of what happens.
Yes, we're done. Win, lose, or otherwise, the winner of this person, whoever wins this match wins the tournament.
Yeah, the Sultai player got to buy into the finals because of being the last undefeated, but this is the last match.
This is our last one. Let's do it. All right. Decent hands on both sides, honestly. Just
Yep.
No 2-drop for the red-black player, but otherwise fantastic. You probably just take Heartless Act. Because I would say Our Promise, but you've got Ashiok, so like I think you just take the thing that kills your creature, right?
Yeah, because if you take Heartless Act, you get to keep your Ferocity and Regisaur, which is going to cut them off a lot of draws, I think.
Yep.
A little awkward because the Explore is going to accelerate them into doing stuff.
But like they have 2 field. This is a perfect draw here. Any 1 or 2 drop is great. But they have 2 fields and 2 swamps, right? So their fields actually aren't going to be active for a while.
Yeah, the second swamp is rough. You get this Triome.
Okay, there's a Languish, so like you have some counterplay available to you now, and you know on Cricket's side you have to play Ashiok this turn.
Yes, because if you don't, then you lose immediately to the Hour.
Yep. And if you're playing the Sultai deck, perhaps you want something like Maelstrom Pulse or Assassin's Trophy in your 75 as a way to kill Ashioks.
Yeah, I think Assassin's Trophy is I think Maelstrom Pulse is better.
I agree that Pulse is probably better.
Especially because you can bring it in like just like random control mirrors, where I think Trophy is a lot worse.
So on the field side here, we have 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands total, but only 5 differently named ones.
Yeah, and here I think you just flash back to Phoenix.
I think I would have flashed back the Phoenix or played Rotting Regisaur. Because Regisaur is good against Languish, right? Yeah. And now I feel here like you want to get Regisaur down. I guess Phoenix of the Ash is a haste or 2, and it like triggers your night this turn.
Yeah, the thing about Phoenix is you get the haste, and then next turn you just get to do it again.
Sure. Yeah, because your graveyard is just like infinitely stocked, right?
Right.
The other upside is though to Regisaur's is again surviving Languish is a pretty big deal. I guess something to think about too is Casualties of War is a card that could maybe come in here. So like there's some value to playing your 4 mana effect this turn because you could technically get Stone Rained next turn.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, and that's a land that enables field.
Sure. So we can Languish first. And then
we have
the question here is can these zombies take down the Ashiok, right? So that you can then,
That's perfect, right? So you wanna Crocs and take the Hour Promise out of hand?
yep, yep, and then it doesn't matter if they take the Ashiok, then they have to top deck. But I mean, you just stop putting on pressure, right? So the Ashiok's going to be off the board. The Croxa, because I don't think you can protect it. You can't cast 2 spells this turn, which you need to do in order to protect the Ashiok. So you're now not actually in the best spot, right?
Correct.
Like
Yep.
Tom's at 11. They have a lot of good draws. They can definitely pull them back into this game.
Agreed. Auto Tapper getting what's his name? What's their name there? Cricket a little bit because they're gonna have to pay a life for this Croxen out. You want to watch these, and
Yep.
that point of life could be exceedingly relevant because going from odd to even is the difference between a zombie hit killing you and not.
Yep. Yep. I like the sequencing there. Otherwise, though, they
Correct.
attack with the
Yep.
Kendra first because then Tom can't block because if they block and then there's a second creature as a follow up, then they can't kill the Ashiok.
Yep. Agreed. Arc of Orzaka's online here.
Yep.
Could maybe do something. Maybe.
Second Watery Grave, the powerhouse of the deck. All right, so now 5 mana. Still can't double spell because they cast the Earthshaker the previous turn.
Yeah, we're just playing Phoenixes and hoping for no removal. And honestly, the fact that Heartless Act is Tom's removal spell of choice means this Phoenix coming back with a counter is insanely good.
Right, because now they have 3. It will stop lethal next. Oh, that's really good. that's a big boy.
Yep.
A
Yep.
large Krasis.
All right, pack it up. We're done here. As much as I wanted the red black deck to win, we can ship it.
The big chunky friend. Gain life off Jungle Hollow. Oh yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
just like we drew it up, huh?
Oh, this is great. We got a nice tight game. The hero got to win. Just about all of this.
I think you're confused about who the hero is, Nick.
This is the hero. The hero plays the Hydroid Krasis.
Hydroid Crisis.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that Kree can do at this point. They're dead on board.
It really felt like the deciding point this game, like I don't know that it was wrong at the time with the decision that they made, but I feel like the one turn that this game could have gone differently was when Cricket elected not to play Rotting Regisaur early. They could have sequenced around Languish, and they didn't, and then Languish gave Tom enough time to peel a Hydroid Crisis.
Yeah, and we're commentating, so it's kind of hard to tell what all the math is, but I definitely...
Correct, yeah. And like at the time, like Tom only had one unknown in their hand, so it's like hard to know that they had the Languish, but you know, the discussion of like objectively right or wrong comes from like, okay, is it right to play around this card in this situation regardless of if they have it or not?
And really, like in Magic, the goal is to see all of the decisions and then to make an informed decision. And then if what you decided to do ends up being worse based on what your opponent had, that's not really the point.
Correct. Yeah. Like it's not about whether or not you're winning or losing in that moment so much as it's about like, okay, with the pieces that I have, what was game theory optimal at that moment?
Well, they're actually not that on board. They actually live at 1.
Yeah, because the Meyer Triton. Well, so the tough part is about living at 1 is because they played Rampaging Frosted on here, they actually can't play another creature, right?
Can't play any creature.
So they kind of doubled. And actually, this actually definitely is a mistake. They should have played Rotting Regisaur here instead of. Well, I guess this gets damage on these triggers. I don't know. It's tough because like Regisaur makes Embercleave a good draw if you're not dead on board.
Yeah.
Like, imagine they take this attack and you have Embercleave in hand. You have Embercleave to draw to, and you have Regisaur out.
Oh, yeah. The problem you run into is I'm pretty sure Tom could make enough mana or make enough land drops that Embercleave on Regisaur doesn't actually kill them.
Okay.
right? Because they're at 8.
Yeah, I think so. And we've got Explore here potentially too, and a Jungle Howl. So yeah, I think we were done once the Hydroid crisis happened.
Yeah, but yeah, there's just no way around this.
Yeah, and the rampaging for Ferocidon is symmetrical, so any creature that Cricket puts into play here does unfortunately kill Cricket. So, congrats to both of these players on making it to our finals. Congrats to Tom Tracy on showing us how powerful Field of the Dead can be. I'm sure Reddit will be excited to complain about that.
Yeah, and these were some, like, a lot of the games you watched were right down to the last turn. Both players were in it the whole time. Like, very interesting, tight games.
Yep.
And I think that speaks to a lot of the health of the format right now.
Yeah, definitely enjoyed this format overall. Something that I'd like to point out to you, just to like break down, it's important to like, again, even when you look at the entirety of the sample sizes here, they're not that large with only 126 players. But even though Sultai Lands won the tournament, it was the most played deck at 11 copies out of 126, and it only had a 52% match win rate among all of the people
Yeah,
playing.
whereas the deck that lost in the finals had a 70% win rate.
I would say that's actually true, right? Like there's Rakdos Aggro had a much higher win rate with a slightly smaller sample size, but still like, it's going to be 26 and 14 here once this updates with the results of the finals, and had a very, very good record. John Sacrifice had a very okay day, fine competitive deck, but there was a ton of decks in here. If you're looking for this, you can find the link on my website under the Hoaglandia Open. Again, shout outs to not only all of our players, but also my co-commentator, Nick, for hanging out with us all day, for my buddy Mike that made time-shifted feature matches possible, for my lovely wife for putting up with not only myself and our small children, but also the 126 Magic players that she wrangled into Discord channels so we could do coverage today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you're someone new at home that's new to my channel, I play a ton of Constructed on this channel. I'm live almost 7 days a week. We play a ton of Historic. You can find more about me on my YouTube channel and my website. If you thought this tournament was awesome and you'd like to play in one of these, we do these every month, basically. The next one will definitely be standard after rotation. So once all of the Icky Nissa cards and friends leave, we will play some standard. Hopefully people will have some sweet mutate decks after Zendikar drops. So check back soon for the date on that tournament. Shout out to Cool Stuff Inc. as always for sponsoring. Remember, if you want to save money on Double Master singles, you can use code OPEN5 all day to get an extra 15% off. Peace, folks. Thanks for hanging out.
Peace, y'all.
Today only, Cool Stuff Inc. is offering viewers of the Hoaglandia